So, just sitting here in my truck getting ready to go in for my shift. And, first, welcome, hello, fellow mortals, to another FTP Fast Track. FTP from the Pit Fast Track. And as I said, I'm sitting here waiting in my truck and for my shift. And I'm just pondering the past few days, in particular, the recent vaccine recommendation changes by our current CDC regime. And it goes without saying that this change in recommendations is just overall absolutely ridiculous and not based in any type of science or medicine or scientific literacy. And I could talk about, some of the more obvious ones, like, meningitis is no longer being recommended. And that's really just kind of a no-brainer. I mean, how quickly meningitis can take down a child or young teenager is just, I hope no one ever has to see it. I've seen it, and it's not something you ever want to see. We have the other obvious one with the hepatitis B vaccine, which does so much to prevent the transmission of hepatitis in infants and later liver cancer. And the data on this is just, it's massive, and there's nothing to negate the positive effects of this. But there's other vaccines on there that people probably are not as familiar with. There's the vaccine for RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, and for rotavirus. And for those of you who don't know, RSV is a very is a viral respiratory illness that in the very young infants, 3 months or less, can be devastating and can be life-threatening. And likewise, rotavirus in infants and very young babies can be life-threatening. Obviously, the viral it's a respiratory virus. It can lead to severe respiratory compromise with infants winding up in the neonatal intensive care unit, winding up intubated. And rotavirus, a lot of these kids can get so severely dehydrated that it can put their life at risk. And this is something that a lot of people don't realize because, A, we haven't seen it in a while. These vaccines took something that was very prevalent in the 90s. Infants and young babies it was very common to have units filled with these cases in the 90s. And the vaccine is what has cut those numbers down dramatically and has saved lives and has prevented unnecessary admissions to the hospital for children. And the fact that these are on the chopping block along with everything else is just, and in combination is just, it's heartbreaking because these things are going to start creeping back. Kids are going to start winding up in the hospitals for things that are preventable. And it makes absolutely no scientific sense or medical sense what they are recommending. And I think a lot of people out there are kind of saying, well, it's only a recommendation. You can still get the vaccine. And while technically true, people who say that are overlooking something very important here, and that is insurance companies base coverage of these vaccines on what the CDC recommends. So if the CDC is no longer recommending this, it's more than likely insurance companies are not going to cover the cost of these vaccines. So now you're going to have even more people who want the vaccine, or you're going to have people who want the vaccine for their children. And they're not going to be able to get it because it's not covered by insurance. And they might need to, apply their money to other things to keep their family fed, to keep other needs for the family going. So it just, these recommendations, or lack thereof, are having a snowball effect on this, or will have a snowball effect on this. And this is not good. I mean, everybody talks about wanting preventative medication or preventative health care instead of reacting to when something happens. Everyone talks about wanting the root cause, or going after the root cause, which is the new buzzword. But you know what the root cause of dying from meningitis is? Meningitis. That's the root cause. And we have something to prevent it. And now, this administration, this CDC, is getting in the way of that. Children will be at risk. More children will be in the hospital that need to be than need to be in the hospital. Children will die unnecessarily. That's all I have to say on this. Listen, as always, protect yourself, protect your crew, and I'll see you back in the pit.